Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey. How we doing? Thank you for the early contribution. Appreciate you, said Kendra. I'm still rolling from your tuna comment. I would not want to get into a roast with you. You bad news. Y'all silly. And that came from nowhere. I swear. I was like, for real? After I said it, I was like, for real, tuna can? You just gonna say a tuna can? Just gonna say it, huh? So I wanted to do this particular topic. It had been brewing, and I was wondering whether or not I should do it because it's not super salacious. You know, it wasn't gonna probably get the views and the eyes, you know, because I am a content creator and I do want like people to watch it, right? But sometimes, oh, thank you so much, Frankie. Said, how are you? Says, I'm doing well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I wanted to talk about, there was a clip that I found or came across rather of Dwyane Wade. It was like an interview style, and it was Dwyane Wade and his son. I am not going to dishonor that boy by calling him a girl, even though they have sacrificed him. They have sacrificed that boy to the meat grinder. They sacrificed him. And I don't know why they sacrificed him, but he was the sacrifice. And I don't know what they got out of that. What Dwayne or Gabrielle or anybody got out of brainwashing and sacrificing that little boy until he actually believes or is living as if he believes that he is a girl and this is a minor. This is a minor, and this has been going on for years. And we brush that out of under the rug because I think we so desensitized to certain things that we don't understand the level of abuse that is. To take a child as a minor, as not only just a minor, we ain't talking 16, 17, we're talking since this little boy was what? Prepubescent or pubescent, started giving hormone treatments and outwardly parading this boy as a girl. And not only a girl, a strong Black woman. And you're going to see in this clip, and this is a clip of him and his son having a conversation. And I want y'all to listen to this conversation. And I want you to tell me what you hear. Because I want you to keep in mind that while this child is physically a boy, mentally, psychologically, He has been reworked into a Black woman. Please keep that in mind. Now, please listen to this. I'm going to let the whole thing play, and then we're going to go back. I'm going to try to let the whole thing play. You know how that go. But anyway.
A part of us learning about the trans experiences is also me just getting more comfortable with you and talking to you about things. Because, I mean, okay, Chicago, African-American man. Yeah, we talk about a lot of stuff. not to stereotype, but not often do you have a full-blown conversation with a Black man. So it's hard. And there's a bit of like almost like a cultural barrier sometimes to talk to Black people about that kind of stuff, especially queer stuff. Man, they do not be liking us. But no, I think it was hard to break through like my stereotype of you even. You know, I think people think it's like you trying to understand what being trans is like, but it was like me trying to understand what you were like, because I have this image of mainly just men in general, but especially a Black man is like, you know, stuck in their ways, like rigid in those things that they don't want to like move past. And so I think I had to understand that that's just not true and let you in to understand me. And so when you talk about conversations, like it reminds me like, you know, our road trips, like when we just go on like little drives like around town and end up, you know, just talking about super like deep stuff. It's like those moments for me are the best ways that I think I can communicate myself. I think that a part of us.
Did y'all hear what I heard? Let's separate the queer thing for just a moment. We're gonna join it back, but separate it. Didn't he sound just like a Black woman? A modern Black woman? Didn't he sound just like a modern Black woman? If you didn't know who was talking to who, if you didn't see it, and you didn't know who was what. Now, why is that important? Because when I first saw this clip, when I first ran into this clip, we're going to go back over it. It's deeper than that. Screw her. It's so much deeper than just Gabrielle. Because Gabrielle sound like that for a reason. When I first ran into this and I listened to it, I said, this is the intertwining. This is a demonstration of the fundamental intertwining of the alphabet agenda and feminism. It is everything that boy sat there and said, as he does his best to try to present as a young Black girl, was in a nutshell, the intertwining of the alphabet community and feminism. Those two things cannot be separated. Feminism, horism, and alphabet communityism is one in the same thing. It is the same thing. They do not exist without each other. They have been intertwined from the very beginning. And it is even more deeply intertwined now than it has ever been. Because at the onset of feminism, even when they started talking about second wave and women's lib and trying to be more liberal with that, libertarian sexually, the queer aspect still was not socially acceptable on a main, like in mainstream society. It still was very taboo. Lesbianism and all of that, very taboo. It existed, but you had to look for it. You had to go to certain places. You had to know where to go to certain places to where queer activity was going on. Very underground. So even though the concept of specifically lesbianism, but as we know, see the LGBT, it starts with the L. Okay. Even though that sense of lesbianism that spirit has always been at the birth of feminism, it has never been as socially acceptable in this country as it is today. So when I saw this clip, I said, wow, this is the intertwining of those two things. Because, excuse me, there also was the brainwashing. How can I put this? This also illustrates the totality of feminist brainwash, the propaganda itself, being paraded as femininity. This is what it means to think like a woman. This is what it means, excuse me, that this is what it means to operate like a woman. Feminism supplanted femininity and is masquerading as this is how you're supposed to think as a woman, and this is how you're supposed to move as a woman, as the basis of being a woman, which is not true. This is why I talk about femininity separately from feminism, because they are not the same thing. Feminism and the way in which it is masquerading as female nature, as this is just the way women are, a complete subversion of femininity. It's a complete subversion of female nature. And I have said before that it was like a hijacking of what femininity is. It hijacked female nature, it hijacked it, and it's now wearing the cloak of female nature. This is not female nature. This is why you have people now saying that female nature is evil, because feminism is evil. Feminism is evil. That's demonic. But as it masquerades and hijacks female nature and cosplaying femininity, now the association is made that this must be female nature, because so many women in this country identify with it. But we should know that it's not female nature, Because when you go to other places, females don't behave that way. And when you go to places where feminism has not subverted femininity, the women don't behave like that. So when you listen to his son, I want you to hear it again. The underlying contempt for black men, for men, and for black men, for straight black men. That's the part that I really want you to. You wonder why black women have that. It's not because they're women. It's not because they're women. That boy is not a girl. That boy is not a girl. He does not have any female biological markers. He has no uterus. He has no womb. He has no period. And he is not a double X chromosome. He is an XY chromosome. I don't care what treatments. I don't care what hairstyle. I don't care about any of that. Because that boy that we just heard a black woman come out of is a boy. That's a male. And he don't have female nature. I don't care how effeminate he is or lives his life. He will never possess female nature. Ever. Listen again.
Learning about the trans experience is also me just getting more comfortable with you and talking to you about things. Because, I mean, okay. Chicago, African-American man. You know, we talk about a lot of stuff. not to stereotype, but not often do you have a full-blown conversation with a black man. So it's hard. And there's a bit of like almost like a cultural barrier sometimes to talk to black people about that kind of stuff.
There's a cultural barrier. Listen, he went into the whole black woman, we can't really relate to the black man because, talking to a black man, and he from Chicago and he did all of that. You hear that? That's not a girl. But he's a feminist through and through. Complete with the contempt for black men. Complete with the contempt for men. He himself is going to be a man. I don't care what he wear. And he Dwyane Wade's son. So he got the potential to be tall and big. He got the potential to be tall and big with big hands and big feet, just like a boy, just like a man. Looks like a big old man. Not even a little bitty man, a big one, a tall one, just like Magic's son. Magic's son is humongous. That is a big old man. EJ big. EJ is not no little dude. He tall like his father, and he big like him, and he look like him. I don't care what kind of gown he put on with them size 15 shoes that he having to get specially made because they don't sell women's shoes in that size. Let me speak to this for a quick moment. Brother Beast King said, I understand your message, but the damage is done. Passport bros are inevitable. Let me make something real quick and clear. I don't care nothing about passport bros. Nothing. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. If you're going across seas to get a woman to be with, more power to you. I don't care. I don't care. This is a beast that will devour the world if somebody don't stay back to slay it. This is a dragon that will eat the world if don't nobody slay it. So for anybody not interested in slaying that dragon, more power to you. I wish you the best in your life. But somebody gotta slay it. And I'm in the dragon slaying business. This dragon, let me repeat that, will eat the whole world. It will follow you across seas. This is not a dragon that is specific to America. Let me make that very clear. This dragon will eat the world and everybody in it. If don't nobody slay it. So again, for all of those who don't want to slay the dragon, more power to you. But I'm in the dragon slaying business before it eat the world. Because don't nobody want to slay it. Nobody wants to slay it. Nobody even wants to see the dragon, let alone take up arms against it. Because we keep trying to think that the dragon is not as prolific and dangerous as it actually is. We keep trying to relegate it to certain things and certain places and certain people, and it's not. Ain't but a couple people gonna have the guts to slay the dragon. All those who do not wish to slay the dragon, please, you doing the best thing is to go ahead on and live your life however you want to live it. Pay no mind. Pay no mind to those of us who are slaying the dragon. It's all right. You'll be able to reap the benefits when we done. Don't worry about it. You'll be able to swoop in and take the spoils of war when we done slaying the dragon. Because we gonna slay it. And I may not see it die in my lifetime. But know that I made some heavy wounds before I go. So, matter of fact, let me go on a real commercial break, and then we're going to after these messages, we'll be right back.
Ash Kickin'. Health and beauty products. 100% all natural. Home fragrances featuring premium fragrance oils. Handcrafted in small batches for that personal touch. Visit ashkickin.com for products designed and formulated just for you.
The link is pinned to the top of the chat, ashkickin.com. And if this is going to be your first order, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. Okay? So now, I just had to say that. And again, it ain't no shade to nobody that want to do the passport thing. That don't have no effect on me one way or the other. That doesn't mean anything to me. But we're going to come back to this because I still want y'all to hear the brainwash.
Especially queer stuff. Man, they do not be liking us. But
they do not be liking who's us. I guess us is the queer people. Is that who us is? Us, they don't be liking us. Who is us? I guess us is the LGBT people. Anyway.
No, I think it was hard to break through like my stereotype of you even. You know, I think people think it's like you trying to understand what being trans is like, but it was like me trying to understand what you were like, because I have this image of mainly just men in general. But
why would you have a specific image which we would assume by context clues is a negative one of men in general? That's the part right there. We got a specific kind of viewpoint on men. Where he get that? Where he get that? Where that viewpoint come from? Because feminism is a brainwash. Feminism is a brainwash. It don't have nothing to do with double X chromosomes. It don't have nothing to do with being a woman. It don't have nothing to do with this is just what girls. No, this don't have nothing to do with that. It attacked women, but it don't have nothing to do with being a woman. Women do not hate men. Feminism hates men. I'm trying to point out the demonic undertone and nature of what's happening here. This is the true, this is why I named it the true face of feminism. It has nothing to do with being feminine or being women or female nature or none of it. That is a boy that we are looking at. Nothing can make him not have male nature and an XY chromosome set. Nothing. And it has been the corruption of both ideologies to make it work, to corrupt people's concept of biology in order to make both feminism and the alphabet community ideology work. They just got mad at Jess Hilarious because on the Breakfast Club recently, they was having an interview with some guy, and she said, no, it was a woman, and she said only women can have children. Well, you know, that's just what you think. That's not what we think. That's not what we think. That's not what we know. Only a woman with a working womb can birth a child. And they want us to accept. They want us to accept lies in our biology in order to make the entire ideology take hold and take root. You gotta accept lies at the foundation in order to keep going with the lies. You gotta accept the foundational lie that a man and a woman can be androgynous and they can be one another without no difference. In order for feminism and its co-partner LGBT ideology to exist and to take hold and to take root, you must accept biological lies at its foundation. And one of those biological lies that one must accept is that men and women are biologically and psychologically one and the same, and that they can intermingle and intertwine seamlessly and all of that. This is why the mascot of this demonic ideology is a Baphomet, because y'all know what a Baphomet look like. If you take a look at the actual Baphomet symbology, I chose this one because this one included children. There's a representation without children, there's a representation with children. The Baphomet itself is both male and female. Okay? In some depictions, it is female at the top and male at the bottom. In other depictions, it's male at the top, female at the bottom. The hand gesture, one is up, one is down, which represents as above, so below. aside, and we're not going to get into all of the other symbols and imagery connected to it, but also the last thing I want to point out is that the Baphomet is often accompanied by children. Small children. So sometimes you'll be able to see a Baphomet image without children, but many times it is represented alongside children that are looking at this image adoringly. They are smiling. The children are not sad or afraid. The children are accepting. They are happy to be in its presence. They smile. And they are looking up at this image lovingly and adoringly. Okay? So we're not even going to get into all of the symbology, because on its stomach area is the symbol that pharmacies and the medical field use. If I'm not mistaken, the Medici symbol, I forget what it's called. But this symbol here with the two snakes and the rod, this is the symbol that the medical industry and the pharmaceutical industry uses to represent itself. It is also present here. Okay. A Baphomet is also a chimera. Goat's head, human body, what a bird's wings, or what we are to be trying to perceive as angel's wings, right? Because biblically, if you want to talk biblically, it often describes Lucifer as a fallen angel. So this is supposed to represent that aspect of its being. Okay. I don't go into this stuff. Because to me, it's almost old knowledge. I learned this stuff so many years ago with the symbols, what a lot of the symbols mean, where they come from. Why they are being used, which goes into the left-hand path, witchcraft, spells, things of that nature. A lot of things that are happening around us are spells that are cast. A lot of the different organizations, see, people think certain stuff is conspiracy theory and it's not true and it can't be true. It's definitely true. It's absolutely true. Okay. So at one point I did a lot of studying of various forms of witchcrafts and, plots and symbols and things of that nature, because you have to know what stuff is. You have to know what stuff is. You cannot be oblivious. If you're going to be slaying that dragon, you have to know all of the weapons that the dragon uses. And you have to be aware of it. And much of this stuff that we have become accustomed to, we've become desensitized over, and things of that nature actually are weapons. Media is weaponized. Various different programmings, whether you find them within arts and music and television shows and movies. See, people think that's only where it is, and it's not. That's not only where it is. That's not only where the programming is. The programming is in every major industry in the country. Because you're, along with this young man here, Dwyane Wade's son, the brainwashing. See, people got to know what a brainwash. I don't think we even really believe brainwashing is real like that. It's so real. Brainwashing is a real thing that really be happening. And it happened right before your eyes. And because it is given to us during our formative years, during the years where we learn everything about who we're going to be, we think it's normal. This is why the women don't, by and large, don't fight feminism. It's normal to them. This I talk about it all the time. It is a programming. It is a brainwash. There's nothing that a young girl or boy, for that matter, can do as a child against this brainwashing. Women do not become feminists when they are grown. They don't. There's a reason why the manifestation of the behavior of the women is so across the board, because it is a brainwash that is meant to enact a certain way. Once you bring certain other factors that are going to be unavoidable, women's relationship with the men, having children, interacting in society, different interactions trigger off the result of the brainwashing. This is why a lot of times when women and men get into non-marital relationships and they have children, the trigger for her is to now do the baby mama programming. It's deeper than people think. There's a programming. Why do most baby mamas react a certain kind of way? They react in a way that married women who have children with their husbands do not behave. The baby mama programming is triggered specifically by having children out of wedlock, and even more specifically in situations where there was not an actual relationship to begin with. This is where you get that. Now all of a sudden the guy's no good. She has to take him through the ringer. Now he's, the enemy, because come on. How deeply embedded is that programming? We got to start looking at these things with our spiritual eyes. This isn't, we can't compartmentalize feminism and this kind of behavior. And that we got a bad habit. We as Black people have a bad habit of trying to separate and compartmentalize different behaviors as if the things are not interconnected. See, we would separate the alphabet community ideology from feminism as if they were two different things, and they are not. We like to separate things that are connected. Mainly because we don't want to deal with them. That's the reality of it. The reality is that if we can compartmentalize things with different, this is really different and this is not connected and those things are not connected and all of these things are separate, that means we don't have to fight it. I'm taken back to the book of Revelations in the Bible where it describes the dragon. How many heads does the dragon have? Anybody that reads their Bible, how many heads is the dragon described as having in the book of Revelations? Ten. I thought it was 7. I thought it was 7 as well. How many bodies does it have? How many bodies does it have? 1. So are the heads interconnected or not? The heads are interconnected. They are not different. They appear to be different. They appear to be different. They are not, it's not a different thing. Same thing. It is one being. It is one thing. It is one thing. Not several things. One thing. We have to understand this stuff. The dragon is, of course, metaphorical. Okay? Obviously. But then you actually have to understand the metaphor that is being spoken about. The same evil with a different face. Same evil, different face. Just because it has different faces doesn't mean it's not the same evil thing at its core. So just because we see the various evil aspects of feminism, of all of these isms and schisms, it's not a separate thing. It's one thing. Several faces, one body, one heart, one core. So stop trying to deal with each thing individually. You're not going to do nothing with that. You have to go at its heart, at the heart of the matter, at the heart of the problem, at the heart of the problem, not the symptoms of the problem, the heart. So I just wanted to talk about that today. Thank you, Frankie, for becoming a member. I appreciate you.
But now you have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
So I appreciate you for becoming a member. Don't forget, as a member, there are membership perks that are in the Discord. So somebody put my Discord in there. Once you get in the Discord, let me know. You can put a 1, you can DM me, and then I'll open up the membership Discord for you as well. Okay. Thank you, baby. My baby said in Revelation, the dragon has 7 heads, 1 body. It is described as a great red dragon with 7 heads, 10 horns, 7 crowns. Exactly. Okay. Please don't get caught up. I see y'all already doing it. Don't get caught up in whether or not you believe in the Bible or the dragon or the parable of that or the metaphor of that. I only wanted to illustrate a point about something evil having several faces, several aspects, and presenting as several different problems, but only really in truth being one thing, one problem, and one thing to be attacked or dealt with. Thank you, Ruminant. So this may be old knowledge for you, but you are going deep today. I appreciate it because sometimes I pause because I be trying to recall it. It's been so long, and then the rabbit hole gets deep real quick. But thank you. Feminism and fascism. Fascism is feminism's political arm because at its root politically, it's Marxism, which is also fascism. Okay. Fascism is its political arm, which is Marxism. Okay. if you understand, this is why I'm going to say this one point and I'm going to go. This is why feminism is a destabilizing agent and is successful in destabilizing communities and countries and societies, and which is why they're trying so hard to get it into these other places that are patriarchal, that have their own value systems. Various countries in Africa, which are very patriarchal, they're trying to go across the Muslim world, which has its problems, but still patriarchal and has its own value system that is rooted, whether loosely or not, in Islamic values, things of that nature. If you look at feminism, the reason why it attacks the biology is its foundation. Men and women. See, the Baphomet is also androgynous. It is not only trans, it's androgynous too. Sometimes you can't tell if it's supposed to be masculine or feminine, male or female. So you have to accept biological lies that men and women are actually the same thing. And, they can flow in and out of one another, and they can flow seamlessly to one another, and they don't really have any true differences that are not social constructs. That change, that it also speaks to the culture, the cultural change and influence. Having to accept those biological lies leads to cultural lies, brainwashing, things of that nature, different things that enter into the cultural lexicon, into music, movie, the program, the actual program. And then we have its environment, which I like that you brought up fascism, because that would be the environment, the political, the laws of the land, the legal, the political structure, and the various institutions, which includes the educational institution, in its environmental arm. So this is where we get a bioculturon. This is why I'm saying feminism itself is a destabilizing agent, because it is a bioculturon. It is a biological change, a cultural change, and an environmental change that comes together to create a value system. Okay? It creates a value system, but it creates an evil value system. It creates the lost value system. It creates this, which is a destruction to any community or any society, things of that nature, where you put spirituality at the bottom, where you don't tell the truth about anything, nothing has the truth in it, and you place wealth at the top, which is a worship of the things of this world. Okay, the worshiping of the mundane, the worshiping of all of these material things, materialistic things, leisure, all of these things, to the detriment of spirituality and health and family and appearances and all of these other things. Okay. That is why so many African countries fight it. Particularly Kenya comes to mind when Kamala was sent there when she was serving as vice president. She wasn't even there on like any serious business. She was there trying to see why they won't accept feminism and the LGBT ideology. And the president of Kenya was like, "We're not doing it. We're not interested in trying to be seen a certain way by y'all, and we're backwards, or we'll just be backwards, because we're not going to just open doors to that. We're not going to do that. We're not doing that." So various countries all over the African continent was not having it, not trying to do it, not trying to buy it. Various Muslim countries not doing it, not buying it. Not buying it. Because overall, whether you go to different countries that are majority Muslims and things of that nature, they had issues, Islamically speaking, especially like Arabia or whatever, which is sad because Mecca and Medina are there. But aside from all that, they had their own issues. But that's going to be a tough sell to completely reverse them, because basically you would be asking them to not be Muslim anymore. That's a hard sell for people that's been Muslim for thousands of years. And so they are, they try very hard to demonize these different governments and countries. Oh, they're backwards and they don't recognize human rights, and they don't recognize the rights of people if they're LGBT, and they're, you know, have all kinds of transphobia and homophobia and, you know, all this, try to demonize it. And the people and the government of those countries is like, so what? We don't care. If you think that we're backwards, you're back. We think you're backwards. So you're not coming over here with that, because we saw what it did to you. We saw what it did to you. So it sounds all flowery and, oh, let's everybody get along and people should be able to live. And it sounds nice. That sounds nice. That sounds real nice. But we know what's underneath that. Okay. It's nothing good. It's nothing good. It's not as sweet as you're trying to make it sound. Not as sweet as you're trying to make that be nice, and it's not nice. You're trying to destroy us with that. You're trying to destroy us with that, because we see how the Muslims in your country are like they're subjected to, like they're giving in on a lot of different fronts to this whole ideology. Let people live, and listen, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. And they may not know the whole story of everything that go on in America, and in particularly in the Black community. They may not know the whole story, but they know enough of the story to know they don't want no chapter in it. You can spare me. I don't need no chapter in that story. You can leave that story all the way along, because we are not doing it. Not at all. Not at all. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimson.